And these are 4 savings goals that you should try to reach this year. What's up everyone, David here with Free to Be, and thank you for joining me for another video. And in today's video, I want to share with you 4 savings goals that everyone should aim to achieve this year. Now, as always, before I get started, if you are new to my channel, I cover financial literacy here in an effort to track my progress to financial independence, and hopefully by doing that, I'm creating valuable information and content that others can use in their pursuit of financial independence as well. So if you are new to the channel or haven't done so already, please take a moment and just click the subscribe button down below. It's a completely free action to take and it really does help support the channel. And if you're not new and joining me again, thanks for coming back. Okay, so it almost seems like we're beating the same drum over and over again. You need to have savings goals in place. You need to have goals in general when it comes to your finances in place, and you have to be willing to evaluate them and change them as needed every single year, or even more often than that. Now, if you are in a place where you don't have any specific goals in mind for this year, this list should help you get started. But as always, anytime you take in content that comes in list form, you need to understand that this is not a comprehensive list. There's definitely other goals that you can set for yourself, but these are just 4 that I thought were the most important. Now, if we've learned anything from last year, it's that you can never have enough money in an emergency fund. And I know I've covered it tons on this channel, and if you go to any financial literacy channel, the first and most important thing that you will come across is an emergency fund and how important it is to establish one if you don't have one already. So for this year, that should be goal number 1. Set up an emergency fund. If you don't have one in place already, open an online savings account and contribute $100 to $200 from each paycheck that you receive or each month so that you can start building that fund right now. Hopefully, if you can do that by the end of the year, you should have a few $1,000s in there. And once you see that amount available to you in case of an emergency, you'll be more motivated to save additional funds in the following year. And really, it's just that easy. You just have to get started and it takes some time, but once you get going, you'll be more motivated to keep it up. And then over time, you'll have a substantial amount of money saved up in case of an emergency. And again, I can't tell you how many times I've heard it over the past few months that, man, I really wish I would have had more money in savings. Man, if 2020 really was a disastrous year, if I could have just had enough of a financial footing, just a little bit of a security blanket, I would have been much better off. And that's just the case for all of us. Even if we were fortunate enough to keep our jobs or have our finances be relatively secure last year, it doesn't mean that they're going to be that way forever. So an emergency fund is a definite must. Make that number 1 in terms of a savings goal for this year. Now, the second savings goal isn't really a savings goal, but technically kind of is, because it deals with high interest credit cards. So if you do have any high interest credit cards, make it a goal to pay those off this year, or at least a substantial portion of those. Now, you don't need to sacrifice your saving goal when it comes to building an emergency fund in order to concentrate all your efforts in paying off your credit card, but work on paying that off this year. And remember, there's ways to work around that. If you have a credit card that is charging you something like 16 to 20% in APR, you can look for other opportunities to transfer that balance at a much lower interest rate. And that will help you pay off those credit cards a lot faster. But remember, whenever you do this, you are probably going to run into restrictions or timing where that introductory APR, the lower interest rate, will expire, at which point you will owe a higher interest rate for the amount that's outstanding. So be cautious when you're doing this. Don't necessarily transfer the entire balance. Maybe tackle it in some smaller portions or manageable portions, but work on paying off your credit cards this year because you're never going to regret doing that. And by eliminating that debt, you're effectively saving a lot more each and every month. Now, the third goal is, again, not really a savings goal per se, but it is going to save you in the long run. Because as I've mentioned here on this channel before, without our health, wealth means nothing. And part of our health is mental health. And in order to achieve mental health, especially after going through what we went through last year, we need a break. And this should be the year that you take some time, hopefully sooner rather than later. Let's hope that everything gets back to normal pretty soon. And maybe by summer or fall, take a vacation. use some money that you worked on accumulating and take a break. Look, it doesn't necessarily need to be the fanciest vacation in the world. I'm not telling you to get on a plane and go to the Maldives for 2 weeks, but you can take a few days off. Disconnect from your devices, go to a beach somewhere or somewhere that makes you happy. If it's camping, go do that. Whatever it is, take a few days to yourself and just unwind, because you need to make sure that you save your health. Go exercise a little bit more often. Maybe take that break, meditate a little bit more, and get your mental health back in shape, because without saving that, saving money is useless. So savings goal number 3 is make sure you take a vacation this year, because we could definitely all use one. And finally, the 4th savings goal that you should implement in your life this year is starting to save for the holidays right now. Now, I know we just passed the 2020 holiday season, but that doesn't mean that you can't start planning for the holidays this year. So the best way to do that is to kind of figure out exactly what you would spend on a typical holiday season on gifts for family and friends, and then come up with a system where you save a little bit of that each month leading up to the holidays. So we're about 10 months out right now, 11 months out. You can split that up into 11 monthly payments towards those gifts that you're going to purchase at the end of the year. Now, this is probably a good practice to practice every single year. Like, treat your one-time bills that come up sporadically throughout the year as basically an annualized thing, and divide those payments up for yourself so that you can save a lot easier for those events. But just make sure that you have a plan in place. You don't want to be caught off guard with, having to buy $1,000 worth of gifts at the end of the year when you don't have $1,000 with you or available to spend on those gifts. And you definitely don't want to put yourself in a scenario where you are taking out of a retirement account or an emergency fund or using credit cards. So plan for it accordingly. Start saving for those gifts right now. All right, guys, well, I wanted to keep this video pretty short. There wasn't anything crazy in this one, but hopefully you watched this entire video, because I do feel that all 4 of these can help people in some way. And personally, I cannot wait to take a vacation, because I feel like I've been cooped up in my house for over 12 months. It really feels like I probably spent 5-6 years in this house, even though I know that's not true. But I need a vacation, and we should all take a vacation to make sure that we get our mental focus back on track. Make sure to continue saving for some rainy days that, inevitably will come. But if we prepare for that, we'll be in better shape when that time comes. So if you have any other savings goals, let me know what those are in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, please take a moment and just click the subscribe button down below. Again, completely free to do, and it really just does support the channel and helps us grow. And we'll see you next time.